Wrapped up in these two brands, SIG and Glock.
Shameless promotion there, guys. Just back in my workshop, sipping on a coffee, and I've got a little bit of time to dive back into some work with the Stanley Bailey plane. So really, we're just working through cleanup and stuff, but there's still one structural issue that's kind of a big problem with this plane here. And the problem is that this rear handle, which mounts here like this, and there's a screw up front here. Sorry, I got it the wrong way around. I'm trying to watch the camera screen here and do this at the same time. There's a screw that mounts through here, and then there's a bolt, a rod bolt that goes through here. And then there's a hole here on the bottom. Well, at some point along the life of this plane, someone decided, or lost that bolt or broke it off or whatever, and decided to make their own. They did it with, looks like a carriage bolt. I actually lost the bolt that came out of there, but it was garbage anyways, but it was really rough on the bottom. So I've been thinking for a couple days and talking to Ray Bartlett about it, trying to come up with a way to mount this handle. First I thought about maybe welding a rod here that this could slip down over, but then this is cast iron, so that won't work. You can't really put a bolt with a head on it down here because this has to be perfect flat. So what I've decided to do, I'm not positive if it'll work, but we're going to try it today, is I've got a piece of ready rod here. I'm going to run it down through into the base, and I'm going to JB weld it into the base, and that way I can have I can kind of build the JB weld up a little bit here and then sand it and grind it flush with this base after. I should end up with a perfect flat finish, and I figure this is about 1/2 inch deep here from this surface to the bottom. So this ready rod here will have 1/2 inch of support of JB weld. So I'm hoping that'll work. Okay, so I'm not 2 minutes into this work, and I realize that this ready rod will go through the handle beautifully, very nicely, without much slack, but it won't come close to going through this hole here. I'm gonna have to grind down the end of this ready rod to make it go through there. Okay, so I'm just doing one last length check before I cut off. This is a 3-foot length ready rod, so I'm just going to snip it off right here above the tape. Make sure whenever you're cutting off ready rod like this, you put your nut on before, because usually when you cut it, you ruin the end threads, and you can't get a nut started on it. But if you already have your nut on there, you can force the nut back out over the threads, and it'll recreate the ending thread so that you can use it. So just make sure you put your nut on first before you're cutting off any threaded piece like this. So here is what I have done. Just about to JB weld it. See, there's the end. Alright, it's time for JB Weld to work its magic. If you don't know what JB Weld is, you got a problem. Don't worry, JB Weld can fix that problem. If you're feeling down, Your dreams are crushed, your life is looking empty. JB Weld can fix that. Broken heart, JB Weld can fix that. Alright guys, I'm just going to finish this video off super candidly. I started working on the blade. Ended up being even bigger of a project than I thought. The iron, sorry, I keep calling it a blade, but it's the iron. But yeah, so I was working a while in there, sat in my computer chair, I was uncomfortable. I knew I was going to be a while, so I just decided to come here in the living room and put on a movie. So I'm watching American Sniper. Story of Chris Kyle. I don't know if any of you seen it. If you have, comment, tell me below. Excellent movie. I love it. It's pretty impacting or impactful. Impacting. Not sure, but I'm sure the word I'm looking for there. But yeah, awesome movie, but pretty heavy, right? Here's my setup. Just a little table here. Here on my couch, my knife cabinet, along with my straight razors here. Yeah, so let's have a look at the iron. Yeah, so here it is, guys. Took it up to 6,000 grit polish on the whetstone, and then strapped on my strap here. So the rest of the plane still looks pretty rough. That's about as good as I could get it. Honestly, I've been working for a couple hours on this iron. I tried everything to get this down to a perfect platinum finish, and I just couldn't get it. You can see there where the mirror polish is. It's pretty well clean right along that edge, but super tough. Man, I just love the look of that.